Padgamlam Shri Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagana Ronatham Tam Tam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Rantha Shri Vishakamatamsa Namo Shubhaya Krishna Prashavuti Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Prasarne Devi Vani Pasade Stane Vancha Kalpada Sade Pasandi Pavne Krishna Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Satyananjan Gaurangi Shirade Nirvana Swami Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna. I think we had done till 60. We'll begin with verse number 61 today. So till now, Lord had given the knowledge of Brahman, that is called Guhya Gyan, and now Lord would be giving the knowledge of Paramatma, which is called Guhya Tara, much more confidential knowledge. 61 today. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hide Dese Arjun Tishtati Ramayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarurani Maya. Please read the translation.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Hare Krishna.
So then in this So in this verse, Lord talks about that how it is Paramatma who is seated in everyone's heart. That is the region where both Atma and Paramatma are located. And what he is doing? Brahmyam Sarvabhutani. What does he do by keep staying there? Through his Maya, he makes all living entities to be engaged in their respective actions. So basically what happens is soul desires, super soul sanctions, and the shadow of super soul is Maya. Ch-18 bhavanani bhavarti durga. And that Maya rotates the body of the people, like the puppeteer moves the puppet by the medium of demigods. I think I gave this example many times. Let's say I want to lift up the hand. So I desire to lift up the hand. But then it is Paramatma who notices the desire. He sees whether you have enough credit. Generally, it doesn't require lot of credit. And if that credit is there, then his shadows Mayadevi. Under Mayadevi, all the other demigods are there, like Vayu, Indra, and they make the hand move. A living entity thinks that I am moving. So the living entity is like artificial doll attached to a device with strings. It's like he's a living entity like a puppet. And Lord is the puppeteer who makes it move. Another meaning of Yantra Rurani Maya is that all living entities mounted in their bodies, this machine, are made to move by Maya. So it is Maya who moves it. And living entity thinks that I am doing it. So it is ultimately Supreme Lord only who makes it move. Then Lord tells Arjuna to surrender to the Supreme Lord in 62. Tameva saranam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tad prasadat param santim sthanam prapsasi sastra. Please read. Okay. My voice is low.
Yes,
Like,
Prabhu.
Actually, today my device is not there.
Now it's fine, Prabhu. Maybe
it's
mic when you are speaking, now it's fine.
Okay,
Till
mic
now.
has to be close to the mouth.
I think now that could be the reason. Yeah, we understand now. Yeah.
So one more option is there. I just remove the mic. Let us see if it is louder.
Okay.
Now it is louder.
Very much, Prabhu.
It is better than before.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then let me not use the mic. Okay, good. So somebody can read 62, translation of 62.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Translation 18.62. O section of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode.
So it is Supreme Lord only who gives different bodies to the living entities to fulfill their desires. Prabhupada in the previous purport was giving an example of high-speed motor car, low-speed motor car. So in this way, everybody has a different body. Some may be like high-speed motor car, and they may do the purpose of traveling very fast. And some of them would have like tractor, which means move slowly, but it can do the plowing. High-speed motor car cannot do the work of plowing. So in this way, everybody has some specialty. We all are given by Paramatma. And now Lord says this, O descendant of Bharata, take refuge in that Paramatma alone with complete devotion. So in this way, your Vidya will destroy avidya, and then by my mercy will attain the eternal abode of the Supreme Lord. So here Lord says is take the shelter of the Lord. By that what will happen is param santim. Because the cause of all misery is avidya. So the vidya will destroy the avidya. And then what will happen is sasvatam sthanam. You will get my eternal abode called Vaikuntha. Not like Gyanis in the previous verses, who just got Brahmajyoti. So this surrender for the Paramatma is for the people who are worshipper of Paramatma. Paramatma means, as I told, three Vishnus: Garvadaksha Vishnu, Thirodaksha Vishnu, and Karnadaksha Vishnu. But those who are devotees of Lord, they surrender to Lord directly. That we will see in further verses. So how a devotee thinks, those who are worshipper of Bhagwan. So how they think is that Krishna alone is my deity. He is alone my guru. He alone gives me instructions which are beneficial for my bhakti. Therefore, I will surrender to him. Krishna alone is my inner guide, taking the place of Paramatma. That means for devotees, Paramatma is Krishna only. So I surrender to him so that he will engage me in the actions of bhakti. So devotees, they want to surrender to Krishna directly, not like through Paramatma here. So till now, Lord has been talking about Guhya Gyan and Guhya Tara Gyan. That is exactly what Lord speaks in 63. Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrasyeta taseshena yathekchasi tatha kuru. Please read.
Thus, I have explained to you knowledge, be more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Lord says that I have explained you Guhya Gyan and Guhyatara Gyan. So Guhya Gyan is Gyan of Karma, Jnana, Ashtanga Yoga. So, and Guhyatara Gyan So Guhyatara Gyan. So Guhyataram Gyan is Gyan of Paramatma. So 51 to 54 Lord has given the knowledge of Brahman. 61 to 63 Lord has given the knowledge of Paramatma. So Lord has said that in Bhagavad Gita I have given you everything. Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, which leads to Brahman. And so this is Guhya Gyan, secret. And then I have also given you the Guhyattara Gyan, that is knowledge of Paramatma. So all these are given by Vasishta, Badarayan, Narada. They all have given all this knowledge. Now deliberate on the whole thing and do whatever you want to do. That is exactly the work of Guru. Guru enlightens the disciple and then gives him freedom to act according to his intelligence. So it's not that Guru is one who will dictate at each and every step, do this, don't do this, don't do this. He gives him knowledge. And then he allows him to take his decision. There can be one more meaning to this particular verse. That knowledge is relative of other people, although they are great sages. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, it is infinite. So they can't understand the knowledge because it's very, very confidential. So they know Guhya Gyan, some of them are Guhyatara Gyan, very few. But Guhyatama Gyan, the knowledge of Bhakti is unknown to all these great sages also. Because I didn't teach them directly about this confidential nature of the knowledge. But it is very confidential. I gave it to only devotees. So considering this knowledge thoroughly, Asheshena, do whatever is suitable for your taste. And Vishnu Thakur gives in the purport again that analogy of, if you remember, the jewel box. So in the jewel box, the lower lid is the first 6 chapters, upper lid is the last 6 chapters. Middle 6 chapters is like the jewel, Bhakti Yoga. And the top of the upper lid, there are 2 verses which depict what is there inside. Let us say if there is diamond inside, there are small pieces of diamond on the top of that. Those verses are going to come. They are 65 and 66. So that is like he advertises. But when Krishna saw that at Arjuna, that Arjuna is really deliberately thinking what to do, what not to do. No. Then Krishna's heart is like butter, which melts. He says, no, this fellow is very confused. I've spoken about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and even out tapasya. So he's really, really confused. So then Lord thinks, now let me give him directly essence of it. So that Lord speaks in 64. Sarva goyetayam bhuya sinu me paramam vachaha ishtu asi midranamiti tato vakshami te hitam. Please read.
Hare Krishna. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Hare Krishna.
Lord says in the next 8 verses, I am going to speak the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. Guhyatamam, most confidential knowledge. Most confidential knowledge. So you don't forget all the difficulties of reviewing all the instructions I have given. So I am going to give you it again, bhuya. Sarva Guhyatamam bhuya. Bhuya means again. Because this knowledge already I gave in middle 6 chapters. And the essence of that was in 9.34. So Lord is going to repeat that 9.34 again. The most confidential knowledge. And Lord said this param vachaha. Among all the words I have spoken, these are the highest words. And this is the highest secret, Guhyatamam. This is essence of even Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is essence of scriptures. And this verse is essence of all the instructions given in Bhagavad Gita also. There's no secret greater than this. In any place, cause, means. So why am I speaking to you? Because you are very dear to me. Vrinam ishtaha. For your benefit, I'm going to speak this most confidential knowledge to you. So with fixed mind, hear it. Hear what I'm going to speak. Now Lord is going to speak the essence of all the scriptures, essence of Bhagavad Gita in this verse, which he has already spoken before. मनमना भव मद भक्तो मदयाजी माम नमस्कुरु मामयो सचि सत्यम ते प्रति जाने प्रियोसी में. You can read both translation and purport.
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friends. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official mediator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is the dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and a peacock feathers in his head. There are descriptions of Krishna found in the Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on the original form of Godhead Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna's. Hare Krishna.
Lord speaks some instructions. We will analyze each one of them in this verse. So man mana means offer your mind to me. Mad yaji means offer to me worship through different articles like chamar, ghee lamp, incense stick. Mam namaskuru means offer respects to me. And then Lord says, I promise you that without doubt that you will come to me because you are very dear to me. So now we'll go into little detail of each of these instructions. So Lord says, man mana bhava mad bhakto. It can have two meanings. What are two meanings? That man mana, think of me alone. Why? Because bhava mad bhakto, because you are my devotee. Man mana bhav means always think of me, and mad bhakto, because you are my devotee. So think of me like a devotee, not like karma yogi, jnana yogi, ashtanga yogi. Those who think of the Lord only after performance of their entire activity. A karma yogi, whole day he does karma and at the end remembers Krishna. Jnana yogi, he spends some time in doing some chanting, some deity worship. So not like that. Think like a devotee. Devotee always thinks of Krishna. So there's a meaning of manmana bhava mad bhakto. If you say manmana first, bhava mad bhakto at the end. If you take manmana bhava first as complete, that means peace situated with your mind completely absorbed in me. In my form of Samsundar, who has moon-like face, who has shining locks of hair, beautiful eyebrows, raining nectar in the form of glances. When Lord glances here and there. Sometimes he gives sidelong glances. So this man of manmana bhav. And mad bhakta can mean and give your all senses to me. That means Give your ears to me by hearing about me. Give your eyes to me by seeing my form. Give your nose to me by smelling the tulsi and flowers offered to me. So in this way, adore me, bhavamat bhakta, using all your senses, hearing, chanting, seeing deity, cleaning, anointing my temple, picking up flowers, making garlands for me, ornaments for me, offering me umbrella, chamar, etc. So in this way, use not this mind. In first one, Lord, first translation I told is, if you say manmana bhav, that means Lord is talking about mind alone. But here Lord is talking about all the senses. That can be another translation. Use all your senses in my service. And Madhyaji means give me objects of worship, like we have Naivedya, Gandha, incense, flowers, lamp. In this way, become my pujari, become my worship. So that is the meaning of Madhyaji, do my deity worship. And Mam Namaskuru means offer respects to, like falling on the ground, but like doing dandavat, touching all the 8 limbs on the dust. So then Lord says that. And Lord says, what will happen by that? Mam evasasi satyante. Of these 4, thinking of me with mind, serving me with senses, worshipping me with items, offering respect to me with the whole. These 4 things. First is thinking of Krishna, serving Krishna with all the senses. 4th is worshipping Krishna with different items. 4th is offering. These 4. And that. So Lord says, do all of them or do even one of them. But you will attain me. Mam evasasi. You will attain me. So make an offering of your mind, your senses, your items of worship, etc. And I'll respond. And give myself to you. Then Arjuna says, you are saying like that, but how can I trust you? Because people in Mathura and Vrindavan, Mathura is known for cheaters. Like if you go in UP, they say Mathura ke thag or Varanasi ke thag, Kasi ke thag. So Mathura and Varanasi are known for people who cheat. So Arjuna says, I can't believe you. So Lord says, no, Satyamte, I take this oath, I take this vow that you will come to me. So Arjuna, Krishna says, are in Vrindavan and Mathura, people keep on taking oath on this name, that name. Oh, you are my friend. And truth, I'm speaking, this is right, that is right. So similarly, you may take oath and tomorrow you may break also. So then Lord says, no. Priyovasi me. Although people from Mathura and Vrindavan may speak a lie, but they never speak lie to people whom they love. So Priyovasi. So you are very dear to me. That's why I'm not going to cheat you. One may cheat outsiders, but one will not cheat family members. So that is why, Arjuna, you don't have to worry. You will come back to me, guaranteed. Just do these 4 things. Offer your mind to me, offer your senses to me, offer different articles of worship to me, and 4th is offer obeisances to me. That's all. Nothing else is there. Okay, yes, Kalyan.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, in this purport, first Krishna is explaining what Arjuna is supposed to do it. Like think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer homage to me. Then he will come to me without fail. Again, last statement he is mentioning that I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So because of that, he do all these things and he will come back. But how would if Krishna has become a daughter, mother, sister, or whatever other relations? Here he is saying, I promise because of you, my dear friend. So how about someone is not having established any relationship, just considering as a supreme God and worshipping and all? So how about that, Prabhu?
See, generally, when we say we love with some relationship. Even as a servant. So previously, actually the Sanskrit word which is used is previously. Previously means you are very dear to me. So that means there is an involvement of love. It is not something official. Like for example, Karma Yogis, Jnana Yogis, Ashtanga Yogis, when they worship the Lord officially. Like when you go to office, people may be having a relationship with you, but that is official relationship. But when you come to home, then relationship with family members is that of love. So in bhakti also we do all these four things. Ashtanga yogis, karma yogis, jnana yogis may do four things also, but that is official. Here it is personal. So that's why Lord is saying, because you are dear to me, love is involved. That's why you will come to me. Okay.
When you say dear to me, it could be any relationship with the God. That's what, right?
Yes, yes.
But he is stressing upon only friendship.
No. See, Priyasi actually, Prabhupada translated as friendship because Arjuna's friend, but Sanskrit word practically used is Priyasi. Priyasi means
Okay.
you are dear to me.
Okay.
So it is not, friend is not written there, but it's like you can say little bit Prabhupada's explanation because Arjuna is in the Sakharas. So Prabhupada.
Correct. Yes, thanks. Understood.
Okay. And now he's going to speak the final verse, epitome of whole Bhagavad Gita, which all devotees memorize. They may not remember all verses, they remember this verse. Sarvadharman parittaja mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. So read both the translation and the purport.
All done, all work.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhijanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion, knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Super Soul, knowledge of the different types of orders and statuses of social life, knowledge of the renounced order of life, knowledge of non-attachment, sense and mind control, meditation, etc. He has described in so many ways different types of religion. Now, in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. That surrender will save him from all kinds of sinful reactions. For the Lord personally promises to protect him. In the 7th chapter, it was said that only one who has become free from all sinful reactions can take to the worship of Lord Sri Krishna. Thus, one may think that unless he is free from all sinful reactions, he cannot take to the surrendering process. To such doubts, it is here said that even if one is not free from all sinful reactions, simply by process of surrendering to Krishna, Sri Krishna, he is automatically freed. There is no need of strenuous effort to free oneself from sinful reactions. One should unhesitantly accept Krishna as the supreme savior of all living entities. With faith and love, one should surrender unto him. The process of surrender to Krishna is described in the Hari Bhakta Vilasa 11.676. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshasiyati visvaso goptrivatve varnanam tata atma nikshepa karpanye sadvidha sarangati. According to the devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to the devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in the social order, but if by executing his duty one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. Anything that does not lead to the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. One should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all the difficulties. There is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. One should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. As soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service to the Lord in the full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes freed from all contamination of material nature. There are different processes of religion and purification processes by cultivation of knowledge, meditation in the mystic yoga system, etc. But one who surrendered unto Krishna does not have to execute so many methods. That simple surrender unto Krishna will save him from unnecessarily wasting time. One can thus make all progress at once and be freed from all sinful reactions. One should be attracted by the beautiful vision of Krishna. His name is Krishna because he is all attractive. One who becomes attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists. Some of them are attached to the impersonal Brahman vision. Some of them are attached by the super soul feature, etc. But one who attracted to the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself, he is the most perfect transcendentalist. In other words, devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Karma yogis, empiric philosophers, mystics, and devotees are called transcendentalists, but one who is pure devotee is the best of all. The particular words used here, ma sucha, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kinds of religious forms and simply surrender to Krishna, but such worry is useless. I'll just read the translation once again. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So after 65, Arjuna has a question. So you told me to perform meditation, man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyajivam namaskuru, all these things. But apart from that, you had also given me the duties according to my varna and ashram. As a Kshatriya, I am supposed to fight. So am I supposed to do these duties of varna and ashram along with them or not? Is it required or not required? So that's why Lord speaks sarva dharman parityajaya. Pari means completely. Now you abandon all sort of other duties because you have gone to the highest order of following my order. Ma mekam saranam praja. Surrender unto me. So this means don't surrender to demigods, to other yogas like karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, etc. Or even varnashram dharma. Just surrender to me. So earlier, I had told you that you are not qualified for Ananya Bhakti, pure devotion service. Because generally this Bhakti is given by Bhakta, another devotee. So that's why I had recommended to you Karma Misra Bhakti by saying Yat karosi yadasnasi yadosi dasya yat tapasi kantaya tat karus madarpana. Whatever you eat, whatever you do it and offering it to me. But by my great mercy, now I'm breaking that rule and I'm personally giving you pure devotion service. Ananya Bhakti, Ekantiki Bhakti. So I made that vow, I am breaking that vow. So like I took the vow of Vanaprastha, but to save you, I broke my own vow to preserve the vow of Bhismadev. Bhismadev took a vow that either I will kill Pandavas or I'll make Krishna break his vow. Krishna broke his vow. Save Arjuna and save the vow of Bhismadev. And then Lord says, by following my orders, you shouldn't fear there will be any loss. That you are giving up your nitya karmas, naimitya karmas, karmas according to varnashram, etc., etc. So I gave that order in the scriptures, in the Vedas, to do your nitya karma, etc., etc. But now I am ordering you to give them all up. So then Arjuna has a question. But won't there be any sin in neglecting these karmas? Nitya karma, naimitya karma. Lord says no. Rather, if you disobey my order now, it will be a sin. Because I have changed the law now. So That's why there won't be any sin. Don't worry. So then Arjuna has a question. But my Lord, if somebody surrenders to you, then he'll totally become your dependent to you. It would be like a purchased animal. So then you will make him do whatever you want to do. If you tell him stay in this place, he'll stay in that place. You tell eat this, then he'll eat this. So is that what you are going to speak? So Lord says yes. And then all these 6 symptoms of surrender comes, which Prabhupada speaks in the purport. What are they? So now I'll explain them more little elaborately. So first one is anukulasya sankalpaha. That means whatever is according to scriptures and whatever is pleasing to the Lord, one should accept that. So anukula sankalpaha. That's first one. Thank you. Second one is pratikulasya varjanam. Pratikulasya varjanam means one should reject whatever is not pleasing to the Lord and what is not authorized by the scriptures. When we say scripture here, it means Bhakti scriptures, devotional scriptures, like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Third one is Rakshasyati iti viswaso. One should have faith at all the times that Krishna will protect me, especially in the case of threat, when there is threat. Like Gajendra had a threat of life, he called for Krishna. Draupadi had threat of life, she called for Krishna. So in this way, one should know that Krishna will protect me. So one calls only for Krishna. It's like other people are there. We have seen sometimes we put our hand in the door and then somebody slams. So painful. So then suddenly those words will come out of the mouths of whom we are taking shelter. So some people say, oh ma, they remember their mother. Some people now start shouting at the person who was slammed because they have taken shelter of their own strength. But devotees call for Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. This is third one. Fourth one is Goptritve Varanam. What to say of in the case of emergency, even in ordinary dealings, one understands Krishna is my protector and Krishna is my maintainer. Like we had this pastime of Arjuna Acharya we had. Krishna personally takes care of the devotees like a owner of the family or head of the family takes care of the whole family. So that's Goptritve Varanam. So Atma Nikshepa, that is also called sometimes called Nikshepanam. It means one should employ both one's gross body and a subtle body in the service of the Lord. And Karpanyam is also called Akarpanyam. That means one should not make a show of one's miserable situation, but rather accepted Krishna's mercy. That because this because of my karma, let me accept that, continue my devotion. Of course, Prabhupada also given another meanings that one thinks one is very lowly, humble. But one understands, one doesn't make a big show of the misery. Oh, I'm miserable. Generally, people have a tendency. I couldn't sleep properly at night. They'll speak to everyone. So Lord said, don't make much show of your misery, accept it as Krishna's service. Sorry, Krishna's mercy. So Sadavadi Saranagatihi. These are 6 symptoms of surrender. So this is something which I spoke from Vayu Puran. So Arjuna says, okay, if I surrender by these 6 things from today, then whatever you say, whether it is good or bad, no, I follow that, then I will be safe. Krishna says, yes, you will be safe. Then Arjuna has a question. He says, my dear Lord, you only told Anukula Sankalpa Pratikulas Varjana. That means you have to follow scriptures also. But if you tell me to break the scriptures, break the law of scriptures, dharma, then there will be garbad, then there will be problem. If you tell me to follow dharma, that is okay. But if you tell me to do adharma, then what will happen to me? Why? Because you already spoke these things in the scriptures. So I broke those words, then I will incur sin. And if I don't follow your current instruction, then I will incur sin. That means I will be bound to be doomed. I will incur sin anyway. Krishna says, don't worry. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will free you from all sinful reactions. So whatever were the past reactions, whatever the current reactions, what reactions are going to come in the future, I will protect you from all of them. And it is not impossible for me. Of course, if you surrender to demigods, demigods cannot protect you from sin. But because I am the in charge of all the demigods, I am the lawmaker, I can protect you from sins. Demigods cannot say, you just surrender to me, I'll save you from sin. They can't say, but I can say. I am above law of karma. And it is not only for you, Arjuna. Taking you as a means, I am giving this instruction to the entire humanity, entire world. That a whole world performs adharma, still I have a power to take away their sins. It is surrendered to me. So don't worry about your welfare, don't worry about others' welfare. If the whole world gives up dharma on my instructions, by absorbing, but surrenders to me, by absorbing their thoughts, actions to me, I take the burden of freeing everyone from all the sins. And don't think, don't lament, oh, Krishna has taken so much of burden of removing my sins. Lord says it is not difficult for me. I maintain the entire creation. Then for me to take charge of my devotees is pleasurable for me. It is not a burden for me. And Lord says, now nothing else remains to be instructed. I have instructed everything to you, Arjuna. Just surrender, that's all. So after this, Lord is just going to speak about how to give this knowledge to others. That's all. Because all these things are like over now. Okay. I have not yet completed. I'll just complete the purport. I have to speak something more on this. And then you can ask. But you can raise your hands. So actually, this word called Mahamekam Saranam Vraja also refers to Vrajavasis. Gaur Govind Maharaj speaks in one of his lectures. And we have proof for that in Uddhav Gita. Because you will find similar verse in Uddhav Gita. So what I would request is, maybe each devotee can read one translation as I display this particular purports. Sorry, these are translations from text 1. So this 11th canto, chapter number 12 from Uddhav Gita. So can somebody read translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Uddhava, by associating with my pure devotee, one can destroy one's attachment for all objects of material sense gratification. Such purifying association brings me under the control of my devotee. One may perform the Ashtanga Yoga system, engage in philosophical analysis of the elements of the material nature, practice non-violence and other ordinary principles of piety, chant the Vedas, perform penances, take the renounced order of life, execute sacrificial performances and dig wells, plant trees and perform other public welfare activities, give in charity, carry out services, severe vows, worship the demigods, chant confidential mantras, visit holy places, or accept major and minor disciplinary injunctions. But even by performing such activities, one does not bring me under his control. Hare Krishna.
That means only association of my pure devotees that can elevate a person, not any other activity, no other activity. And further, just continue. They are like beautiful verses. Yes, somebody can read this.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. In every yuga, mainly living entities entangled in the modes of passion and ignorance gained the association of my devotees. Thus, such living entities as the Daityas, Rakshasas, birds, beasts, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Siddhas, Charanas, Guhyakas, and Vidyadharas, as well as such lower class human beings as the Vaishyas, Sudras, women, and others were able to achieve my supreme abode. Rutrasura, Prahalada, Maharaja, and others like them also achieved my abode by association with my devotees, as did personalities such as Rasa Parva,
Krisparva.
Rishparva, Bali Maharaja, Banasura, Maya, Vibhishana, Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, Gajendra, Jatayu, Tuladhara, Dharma, Vyadha, Kubji, the gopis in Vrindavana, and the wives of Brahmanas who are performing sacrifice. Hare.
So Lord is saying that even if those who are in mode of passion and ignorance, even those who are animals, birds like Jatayu, they all achieved perfection of life simply by associating with my pure devotees. That's the power. Yes, please continue. Someone else can read now.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The persons I have mentioned did not undergo serious studies of Vedic literature, nor did they worship great saintly persons, nor did they execute serve vows or austerities. Simply by association with me and my devotees, they achieved me.
So they didn't do any of these austerities, this, that, service to sadhus, this, that. They just associated with me and my devotees, and that is how they got this perfection. Yes, please read this. Continue.
The inhabitants of Vrindavana, including the gopis, cows, unmoving creatures such as the twin Arjuna trees, animals, living entities with stunted consciousness such as horses and tickets, and snakes such as Kalia, all achieved the perfection of life by unalloyed love for me, and thus very easily achieved me.
Now, Krishna is giving an example of all the people in Vrindavan: cows, gopis, Arjuna trees, trees of Vrindavan, animals, all living entities, even snakes like Kalia, they all got perfection of life by getting unalloyed devotion to me. How they got it? By associating with my pure devotees. Please read.
Even though one engages with great endeavor in the mystic yoga system, philosophical speculation, charity, vows, finances, ritualistic sacrifices, teaching of Vedic mantras to others, personal study of the Vedas, or the renounced order of life, still one cannot achieve me.
That means one can achieve only through pure devotion service, and that too associating with his devotees. Now, please continue.
The residents of Vrindavana, headed by the gopis, were always completely attached to me with the deepest love. Therefore, when my uncle Akrura brought by my brother Balarama and me to the city of Mathura, the residents of Vrindavana suffered extreme mental distress because of separation from me and could not find any other source of happiness. Hare Krishna.
So now Lord is glorifying Vrajavasis, that among all the devotees Lord has mentioned before, these Vrajavasis have such a love for me that they can't even bear separation from me. But without took me, they say, please read next.
Dear Uddhava, all of those nights that the gopis spent with me, their most dearly beloved, in the land of Vrindavana, seemed to them to pass in less than a moment. Bereft of my association, however, the gopis felt that those same nights dragged on forever, as if each night were equal to a day of Brahma. Hare Krishna.
When Krishna was there in Ras Leela, Krishna made entire day of Brahma enter in one night. And they were feeling it is like one night only. But when Krishna left Vrindavan, one night was looking like one day of Brahma. So that is love of gopis for Krishna. Next, please read.
My dear Uddhava, just as great sages in yoga transmerge into self-realization, like rivers merging into the ocean, and are thus not aware of material names and forms. Similarly, the gopis of Vrindavana were so completely attached to me within their minds that they could not think of their own bodies, or of this world, or of their future lives. Their entire consciousness was simply bound up in me.
So gopis couldn't think of anyone except Krishna. And next one.
All those hundreds of thousands of gopis understanding me to be their most charming lover and ardently desiring me in that way, were unaware of my actual position. Yet by intimately associating with me, the gopis attained me, the supreme absolute truth.
So although they were not like very educated, etc., but because they were associating with me, they loved me, they were attached to me, they had achieved me. And then this verse is similar to the same verse, Sarvadharman Parityaja. We'll analyze it now. Tasmatam Udavat Srajya Chodanam Pratichodanam Pravittim Cha Nivittim Cha Sotavyam Sutamevacha Mamekam Eva Saranam Atmanam Sarvadehinam Yahi Sarvatma Bhavena Maya Saya Akato Bhaya. Now you read this translation.
Therefore, my dear Uddhava, abandon the Vedic mantras as well as the procedures of supplementary Vedic literatures and their positive and negative injections.
Wait. Now, what is this compared to our verse? Which particular part?
Sarvadharman Parityaja.
Sarvadharman Parityaja. Same thing is there. Yeah. Continue.
Disregard that which has been heard and that which is to be heard.
Same things. Sarvadharman Parityaja. Now take next line.
Simply take shelter of me alone, for I am Supreme Personality of Godhead, situated within the heart of all conditioned souls.
So what is that? Wait. What is this compared to this line?
Mamekam Saranam Praja.
Yeah, Mamekam Saranam Praja. And then continue next.
Take shelter of me wholeheartedly, and by my grace, be free from fear in all circumstances.
What is this compared to?
Sarva Papebi Moksheshami Masacha.
Moksheshami Masacha. So don't fear, don't worry. So similar verses there in Uddhav Gita also. Krishna has repeated. But if you see here, Lord is giving example of associating with pure devotees, especially glorifying the Vrajavasis. And that is the reason when we say Vraja, Vraja practically means like Vrajavasis. Because Vraja actually has the meaning of go. And that's why so many Mayavadis, they claim that Krishna, when he's saying, Mamekam Saranam Vraja, he is not referring to himself, he is referring to Paramatma. That go and surrender to him. But they don't understand that Vraja is, because Krishna should have spoken, come and surrender to me. But Krishna is saying, go and surrender to me. How does it make sense? Go and surrender to me. So actually, Vraja means here Vrajavasis. That means surrender like Vrajavasis have surrendered to me, Arjun. So Vrajavasis are the best among all the devotees in the entire creation. Vaikuntha, here, there, everywhere. Nobody is excellent like Vrajavasis. So surrender like Vrajavasis. And simply by associating with these Vrajavasis, surrendering like Vrajavasis, Krishna says, you will come to me. Don't worry. So that is the glory of Vraja Bhakti, is Krishna showing even in this particular verse of Bhagavad Gita. So what is this verse? So verse number 14, 15. And this is like, just a minute, 11, 12, 14 and 15. 11, 12, 14, these two verses. So they are similar to this verse.
Thank you.
So this is the epitome of Bhagavad Gita. Now you can ask questions. After question, then we'll continue. Mati had a question.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, we hear about Krishna's promise and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, but still we are not. I'm not able to surrender. I mean, the faith is very feeble. So how can we develop the faith gradually?
So Lord has answered in all these verses.
Association.
Associate with those who are surrendered. Actually, what happens is many times we lose faith because we don't stay with the devotees who have a lot of faith. Like I've seen people, those are completely surrendered and they are not much worried about themselves. I know one couple in Navdeep. This devotee doesn't do anything. He worships his Gopalji and he chants 64 rounds every day. It would be shock for even our congregation devotees. Doesn't do anything. And Lord reciprocates also. But he has complete faith that Krishna will maintain. So what has happened with him is, by mercy of Lord, he has got some powers of chanting some mantras and curing the disease of people.
Sure.
So then people come to him, he chants mantras and he tells everyone to chant Hare Krishna only. You go to him, he would quote verses after verses from Ch-18 Bhagavad about Haridas Thakur, glory of Haridas Thakur. And he will tell you, chant Hare Krishna, nothing will happen. And he would chant some Gopal mantras, and by Gopal mantras, he cures people. So when Jayapataka Maharaj was in 2008, he got a stroke. So that time Bhakti Charu Maharaj, he went to this devotee, and even from phone, he chanted the mantras for Jayapataka Maharaj. So that time when Maharaj started recovering. Otherwise, things were looking out of hand. So there are devotees like that. Simply here I'm sitting in Mayapur. So here many devotees are there. Like you, after coming here, they start searching for sources of income. So they had big jobs, they gave it up, they came here. So now we may not be on that level, but certainly if we associate with the devotees with whom we have faith, who have a lot of faith on Krishna, actually we do get faith in Krishna. If we associate with the devotees here, congregation staying here, at least at the end of our life, when we are in the Vanprastha order, we would have a desire, okay, I'll dedicate my life for Krishna. Otherwise, staying in Bangalore and preaching, or come here and just do some services to Krishna and chant Hare Krishna. So that is how this faith comes by associating with those who have faith. If you associate with people who don't have faith, who are too fearful, oh, this will happen, that will happen, this is not practical, that is not practical, then we'll remain like that only. So certainly we have to be practical in the sense because Grastas also need some security, money and etc. But how much is like how much is the line? So that line can be drawn based on our level of faith. Okay.
And the devotees who were explained in the Uddhava Gita, we always say that because they have those Sukruti, they are associating with Lord. That's how we hear. Like whoever are associating with Lord, like they have, it's not so easy to become one of the, I mean, in the past, we cannot participate in the pastimes of the Lord unless and until we have that credit. It's not like that.
See, now when Krishna was present, there were all sort of people actually. There were people who are envious of Krishna, there were people who are neutral, there were people who are had some inclination to devotion service, and there are people who are going to be Krishna's eternal associates, and some were already eternal associates of Krishna. So all sort of people were there. So only those names are given in the scriptures who are like eternal associates or those who have the last life. But there were a lot of people, even in those days, who turn into devotees by associating with these types of devotees. And that's why Krishna gives that example through people. Like, for example, these Brahman Patnis, Dvish Patnis, they got that desire to associate with Krishna by associating with the flower garland ladies who would come from Vrindavan to their place. So they would hear about Krishna from them and they got desire to associate with Krishna actually in Madhurya Ras. So Lord gave them darshan, Lord reciprocated. So association of devotees is possible. It is possible.
I have one question.
Yes.
Like, just wanted to cross verify. Long back I had one of the lecture. One of the class from, and once we are qualified, we are completely done with this material world, and we are going back to the Godhead or not. Then, before going back to Godhead, they'll be engaged in the pastimes of the Lord. Then they'll be given.
And that is right. Yes, right understand.
Yeah. So this
but that doesn't mean that the entire world was filled with those people.
Sorry, bro.
That doesn't mean when Krishna descends in this world, all the people in the world are only those people who have their last life.
Okay.
So there will be mixture of people in that also. So these people, they come, they get trained by eternal associates of the Lord and they become qualified. And other people also, when they see it, they associate with them, they also get desire to become like.
Okay.
That's why I was saying when Krishna came, all sort of people were there. There were even demons who were envious of Krishna. So all sort of people.
So which means before going to go back to Godhead, they'll be given an opportunity to directly see the Lord personally. Then they'll be. So
it is like a training. It is like a training. Eternal associates of the Lord train people who are perfected, so that they know how to behave with the Lord in that particular rasa.
Yeah.
Then they can go.
Okay. Yeah. So one more question. I don't know whether this when Maharaj, everybody says, about Madhurya Rasa, about Gopi relationship and this thing. So this is quite common. Everybody asks this question. Even Gopis, why they are in a very elevated conscious, because they completely gave up. Even it is said that, they were having their husbands. Even then, they were having they were forgetting about their relationship with the husband. Then also they were having could able to think. But here, even many times they ask a question also. Of course, bodily relation, soul platform is totally different. But here, question is, the Lord itself is completely dharma actually. Like we say about Varnashrama dharma, Grihastha dharma, Varnashrama, this thing like Brahmachari, Grihastha, and this thing. And how does it gauge, Prabhu?
Same thing we were discussing, na? Sarv dharman parittaja.
Yeah.
Give up all the
religion. Okay.
Yeah, and then surrender to me.
Okay.
So you may incur sin, but aham tam sarv papebhyo. I will take away all your sins.
Okay. But this is something like, for a relationship with us, it is like very superior. But this is something like, we are not able to think now, like the Lord relationship. How does it compare? This is what commonly everybody is asking questions. How the Lord itself is doing, where generally it is not allowed. So having relationship.
The simple thing is, if you don't accept Krishna as God, you will have all troubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for example, now if Mataji goes and dances with Krishna in the night, will you have any objection? If Mataji goes to the temple and she's staring at Krishna's deity, will you have objection? Why you are looking at Krishna? You should look only at me.
It's not possible.
Why? Because now you know that he's Supreme
God,
Lord.
yeah. He's a God, yeah.
So same thing. As soon as you understand Krishna as Supreme Lord, there's no doubt. Doubt comes as soon as you think that Krishna is an ordinary person. What to say of everyone? Krishna is everyone's husband. Satyatam Pati. Krishna is called Satyatam Pati.
He's a Purusha.
He's
The
husband
only Purush.
of all living entities.
Mhm.
So why should anybody have problem if somebody is going and meeting Krishna and dancing with Krishna? It is such a great fortune.
Mhm.
If my wife dances with Krishna, I will say, okay, you dance with Krishna, I will also come and dance with Krishna. Right? That is perfection of life, to dance with Krishna. So some people who don't have that faith that Krishna is God, or they don't understand what is meaning of God, they have all these doubts. That's why we have first 9 cantos before approaching 10th canto. First understand what is meaning of God in first 9 cantos. Then you understand the fortune of these gopis to enjoy with Krishna. Somebody who's Atma Ram, who's self-satisfied, who has everything in the world, why is he dancing with some women? Because they have done such epitome of devotional service that he's bound to fulfill their desires even if it looks little unworthy. Person who has made the dharma is ready to break the dharma only because this person loves me so much. So that is glory of gopis of Vrindavan. If Lord doesn't do that, I would say he's not God.
Yeah.
Somebody has given up everything to come and approach you, and you say, no, I'm God, you cannot approach me. What type of God is he? God means he should fulfill the desire of these devotees.
All desires it should fulfill.
Yeah. Then he's a God. Okay.
Actually, I was hearing also a week back or 10 days back, Prabhu, one of our senior devotee was quoting when gopis were saying like about asking about brahmacharya. So this pastime Prabhu was narrating, so you might be knowing it. So like gopis were asking, whether even Krishna is a brahmachari. So,
Yamuna gave the way.
Yeah. So even though he is remaining, taste and even Droma, who's it? Muni.
Durvasa Muni.
Yeah, Durvasa Muni. When they also came during Mahabharata and this pastime also. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Sarojini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandatnams. In 66, Prabhupada gives in purport, there is no need of strenuous effort to free oneself from sinful reactions. One should unhesitatingly accept Krishna as the supreme savior in all living. With faith and love, one should surrender unto him. So, which means like you don't need to do any effort in the sense he's speaking about like karma kandas and doing all kind of for the sinful, to counteract the sinful activities. Was that the meaning that is given?
Karma kanda, etc. Prabhupada is even talking about 400 principles, etc. also. What it means is, don't think I have to follow 400 principles and when I'm successful, then I'll chant Hare Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna, you try to avoid 400 principles, they will, in due course of time, even if you are not able to follow, you will follow. Like for, especially, let me be truthful, like for Grastas, sometimes certain regulative principles are there. To follow that highest standard is very difficult. But to continue practicing. If you continue practicing, one day will come, you will start following that. That doesn't mean I will wait till that level, then I will chant Hare Krishna. Then it will never happen. Similarly, devotees from the Western background, many times, many people have objection, oh Prabhu, they are not able to follow certain 40 principles and still they have given initiation. So sometimes spiritual masters may not be very strong with them. And the whole reason is, so they want, it's like that, it is recommended that you follow. But even if they are like not very strong in it, they will become strong. They will become strong. So it's not like, unless one is fully pure, only then one can chant Hare Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna, you will get pure.
And one more question, with faith and love, one should surrender unto him. In the last purport, the last sloka also, Prabhupada, like when we discuss, it's like if we don't have faith in Krishna, such worry is useless. One may be perplexed or one can give up all kinds of religions, simply surrender to Krishna. But such worry is useless, he says. For a practicing Sataka, like we have different levels of faith. So like if you want to completely surrender to Krishna, that is not happening, because when we try, because there is some level which we are there, we are not in the level of pure devotee. So So how to understand that? Like,
So main thing is, it's like there's a line. Line is, if you have faith that just by doing Krishna Bhakti, everything can be accomplished, don't worry. So there's a verse in Uddhav Gita which says, Tavat Kurvani Kurvita, na nirviti vyavata, mat katha sravanado va shraddha yavanna jayate.
இதை ஆஃப் பண்ணுங்க கேஸ. Hare Krishna, sorry.
Durastha Dharma Prabhuji in between.
Yeah, I understood. So their Lord says that anybody who has faith in hearing and chanting about me, for such a person, he can give up any other religious principle. Till you don't have that faith that simply by hearing and chanting out Krishna, everything can be achieved, continue practicing. So that's why for us, for our devotees, that is primary. Surrender to Krishna is primary. Whatever helps in that, we do.
Okay. And when we were discussing this, we were discussing about how important is to associate with our pure devotees. And if suppose the circumstance doesn't allow, so should we continuously pray that we will get the association of pure devotees, like to hear from them, to association, the sense simply reading and chanting is not enough, no Prabhu. Like we have to have the association of
See, if we get physical association, that is very good, Vapu. Otherwise, association is also through Vani. See, when we hear about Vrajavasis from Srimad Bhagavatam, that is also associating. Because when we hear about them, we are associating with them in the sense that we also get a desire to become like them. We think one day will come when I'll become like these Vrajavasis. One day will come when I'll also surrender to Lord so much that I will not be perturbed by any difficulty like Prahlad Maharaj. So when we hear like them, hear about them, we associate with them, and we get a desire to become like them.
Okay. The physical association is also equally important, no Prabhu? Like when we wanted to,
we can get, that is very good. That's what I'm saying. If we get, that's very good. If not, then through hearing by the medium of Vani.
Okay.
We get Vapu, very good. Not Vapu, then Vani.
By regularly hearing from Srila Prabhupada lectures and all of that, that also becomes one of the association.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Kalyan.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I think you already answered partially of my question with Mataji's. I think by hearing, yes, we can associate with pure devotees, pure surrender souls. But when come to physical association, so when someone is surrounded us, so how I am a neophyte devotee, Prabhu, please understand. So how I can assess that there are surrender souls to Krishna? Because I may interact with many, but maybe, may not be. But ultimately, I am associating with them only. I can progress Krishna conscious. I can also become at least a good devotee. So how, what is the indication that the person, if I'm associating physically, the devotee, he's a surrender soul, surrender to Krishna?
And anybody who is showing these 6 symptoms of surrender is a surrendered soul.
Practically some...
like for example, we are seeing that this person is having a lot of difficulties. Despite that, he is doing whatever is favorable for practice of Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
Despite so many difficulties, he is giving up even those things which are very difficult to give up. So whatever we hear in our lectures, if we see that this person is following those things, then he is a sincere practitioner. He is a surrendered soul. It is not very difficult. We have been hearing so many things. Like I myself spoke from NOIG. Then we are reading Bhagavad Gita now. So then all those instructions, if we see somebody is following or trying to follow to the best of his capacity, then he is a surrendered soul.
If I'm not finding what I need to do, Prabhu?
Then at least by hearing, we associate with them.
Hearing, okay. Then maybe we can...
Like Prabhupada, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah. There is no doubt about it.
Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, when he reads Srimad Bhagavatam, purports given by Prabhupada, so then we do associate with the Vrajavasis, we do associate with Prahlad Maharaj and all the great devotees given in Bhagavatam.
Okay.
So we are associating with them. So then we get desires like them. Main thing about association is desire. As soon as we associate with these devotees, we also desire to become like them. And then Krishna will fulfill that desire. If you don't have desire only, what will Krishna fulfill? So that's why association of devotee is very important.
True. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hari. Yes, Manjunath.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandath Pranam. Prabhuji, not a question. I just thought to share a realization. Just I'll take a minute of my time, your valuable time. Prabhuji, recently we visited Vrindavan, Govardhan, Mayapur actually. Sir, Vrindavan, Govardhan, Madura. So there, whomever we see, whatever the level of living they live, they always say Radhe Radhe. So from that I understand they surrender actually. Here whatever any affection, any kind of hit to the body or any some wrong to the body, will say amma let naina, something will say, but they'll say every minute they say Radhe Radhe. Even if we say something, if we are blocking the road, if we are hitting somebody, they'll say Radhe Radhe. But here we are not using the word, we are using hello, hi, bye, something, this kind of thing. So really, I felt myself, we might have done so many mistakes. That's the reason we are away to the Dham actually. To travel from Bangalore to the north, it took around 36 hours. So after coming back to the Bangalore, almost it took 1 week to come out of that hangover actually. So I think then I understood the surrender meaning actually. They are 24/7, they are Radhe Radhe, but we are not 24/7 Radhe Radhe. Even Hare Krishna also. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Actually, if you go a little more closer to Vrajavasis, then you will understand the surrender. I'll just give one incident. Some of our devotees were going in Parakama, and some devotees were old, they were going by car. And they happened to hit one girl, young girl, and actually she died without accident. So then it was, I think, Radhanath Maharaj who went to pacify these Vrajavasis. So he went and he was telling, please forgive me. So then this lady, she was crying like anything. For her, she lost the daughter. But then she said, Radha Rani ne diya tha, Radha Rani ne le liya. Kya kar sakte? Radha Rani gave and Radha Rani took. So it's like, we can't imagine what is their surrender to Krishna. There's no equal to that. Similarly, once buses, it's like in Radhanath Maharaj Yatra only, lot of buses were going, and suddenly Maharaj changed the plan, and then buses had to travel from some other place. So then they have to, because the roads were very narrow, they had to go through one farm. And buses going through a farm is all the grains there would be spoiled. All the yield would be spoiled. So then they thought what to do. So they asked from the owner of the farm. He was sitting there only. And he said, such a great fortune that now so many devotees will pass over my farm. Immediately take it. And then they look, now they went through the whole farm, entire thing was spoiled. And he was a very poor person, very poor person. So then later on, our devotees went to people like Krishna Chandra who were multi-billionaires. So they've told, now we'll pay you for whatever loss was there. Then he said, where is loss? So many devotees happen to cross our through farms. It is such a gain. We will not take this money. It is such a great fortune that now Krishna arranged that now all the devotees go through my farm. So that was when they heard it, they were like, that we are beggars, these people are rich. They have that treasure of devotion. So really, if you go there, I won't say it's like unlimited, these pastimes are there. So when we go to Vraja, we associate with Vrajavasis. Such a amazing, you just hear from them. I recently went there to get duties made. So one whole day I was there with Vrajavasis. I heard from them that love for Krishna is like unbound. Can't just think about it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Prabhuji. I'll just take another 36 max actually. I mean, we were in a 2 electric auto vehicle. My family members totally fell down from the auto. I mean, actually, So this was happened in the when ending of our yatra. My wife and elder kid and brother-in-law and my total family members fell down completely, just fell down actually. So my elder kid got hit actually to the right leg, and immediately we visited to the Bhakti Vedanta hospital actually. So nicely they treated actually. So nothing was happened to the bone. So then I think I didn't get any angry, and even the police cop has picked up the key of that auto. Then I have not said anything to the auto guy, though it's auto fault only, but I didn't say anything. Ho gaya. Don't worry about that. So some sinful actions was clearing from our heart actually. So then I spoke to the police and give that key back to him. So it's not fault him, it's a fault from us. So something I just mentioned, I just finished up, Prabhuji. So even this all my wife and all were hit, and they are suffering from almost 1+2 weeks actually. But this is like purification only we understood, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, you got the mood of Brajavasi.
Really, Prabhuji, really. Thank you. But I think we should have been born in Dham actually.
No problem. Still, we can, by mercy of Prabhupada, we can become Brajavasi. We all are Brajavasis. We all are from Guru. Yes,
Yeah,
Santosh.
I think His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj was mentioned. You are all stayed close to the Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan. So 4 days aap ban gaya Brajavasis. He mentioned that.
Yes, Santosh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing such pastimes. Prabhuji, by hearing such pastime or beauty words, they require like generate like at least
Your voice is breaking, Prabhu. Santosh Prabhu, your voice is breaking.
Prabhuji, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes. Go ahead. You can start, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, yeah, I was telling that, like, thank you so much for sharing such pastimes of pure devotees of the Lord. And just by hearing that, like, we feel to that, like, we should follow in their footsteps. And but if we physically be associated with them, like, definitely day-to-day life, we can learn more and follow in their footsteps. But it is also said that, like, but when you are in the association of pure devotees of the Lord, you may do some offenses also. So some devotees like me, like, try to be in association of pure devotees of the Lord, but another tendency is that I may do offenses because of my ignorance. So how can I understand this, Prabhuji? Can I take the association of that pure devotees of the Lord, or?
Main thing is, be careful. Can you live without cooking?
No, Prabhuji.
So for cooking, you have to deal with fire. Fire can burn the whole house.
Yes,
that doesn't mean we say, oh, I'll be away from cooking, I will not eat anything from today. And you can't survive without fire. You have to associate with fire to cook. At the same time, you have to be careful with it. Same thing. So associate with pure devotees, and at the same time, be careful not to offend. Okay.
Then is it good to have association of project?
Yes. It is good. At the same time, be careful. Both things.
Thank you, friends.
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. This very nice real-time example quoted actually. I think it's heart-touching actually. Hare Krishna.
So in India, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry. Hare Krishna. We wanted to check exam and all those things. Okay. Anyhow, we will check next class.